There is an easier way of calculating SXX, SYY, and SXY. And in chapter 3, we learned that the variance can be given by sigma x squared over n minus x bar squared, which is basically the mean squared. And of course, having brought this knowledge here, now we can of course understand that the variance is going to be given by SXX over n. If we cross multiply this and make SXX the subject of the formula, we're going to find that it's going to be n times the variance. Incidentally, our variance is sigma x squared over n minus x bar squared, which is here. But of course, we know our x bar, which is the mean, is given by the sigma x. The sigma x you divide by the number of terms, which is sigma x over n. And if we substitute x bar with sigma x over n, then we have n multiplied by the whole of the bracket, sigma x squared over n minus sigma x over n, everything, the whole of that bracket squared. Now, this gives us n sigma x squared over n, but now sigma x over n, the whole of things squared, we need to square the numerator separately and the denominator separately because n is going to cancel with n at the denominator at some point. So we have this kind of arrangement. Now, opening this bracket gives us sigma x squared minus sigma x squared over n. And this is now our new SXX, a simplified SXX. In the same way, we can get our SYY as sigma y squared minus sigma y into bracket squared, everything over n. But now when you're comparing the two variables in the same relationship or equation, we're going to have SXY is sigma xy, and because of the existence of x and y here, we do not have the square because both of them come in for multiplication. Sigma xy minus sigma x times sigma y, everything over n. We are going to use this in an example, and I want us to just highlight this. Don't you worry. All these will be given in the formula booklet, so you don't have to know how to derive this. That is why I am not so much insisting that you have to know how to derive these three formulae. In an example, let's look through example 5, which says the head circumference in centimeters x and the gestation periods in weeks y for the newborn babies at a certain clinic over a period of time were as follows. You can remember we had this table in the previous lesson, but we can also use it at least to give us some highlights of what we need to understand. We have the babies, we have the head circumference, and we have the gestation period. This is x and this is y. And I hope you remember what we had. Baby A, baby B, baby C, D, E, and baby F. Baby A had 31.1 head circumference centimeters, 33.3, and we have 30.0. Then we have 31.5, and we have 35.0, and we have 30.2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6 babies. We had 36, 37 weeks, 38. We have 38, 40, and 40. Question is, find SXY. Find SXY. Now, what is SXY? That's why I did not even rub this, because we have to use it. The formula is, as you can see, sigma xy minus sigma x times sigma y, that part over n. And we have to have xy. We have to have the multiplication of xy. If we can create another row here, we can have the product of each one of these. So for example, 31.1 times 36, 31.1 times 36, that we get is 31.1 times 36 is 1119.6. This is 1119.6. Then the second one, 33.3 times 37, which is going to be 1232.1, and then 30.0 times 38, we get 1140, all the way until we have 30.2 times 40, you should have 1208. Now, when you add all this, sigma xy is going to be 1119.6 plus 1232.1 plus all the way plus 1208, which should give you 7296.7. Let us now look at sigma x. Sigma x alone. Sigma x is going to be given by 31.1 plus 33.3 plus all the way plus 30.2, which is supposed to give us 191.1. What about sigma y, which is supposed to be 36 plus 37 plus blah blah all the way until plus 40, which should give us 229. Now, Sxy is supposed to be given by sigma xy, which is here, 7296.7 minus sigma x times sigma y, which is going to be 191.1 times 229, this part over the number of entries, which is 6. Now, after you evaluate all this, of course, using the calculator, you'll find that Sxy is equals to 3.05 is going to be equals to 3.05. Incidentally, of course, you'll have this part remaining the way it is, 7296.7 minus this part will give you 3.65, and this is what gives you 3.05, and that is our Sxy. Okay,